Hello YouTube, this is TRoPrice667, and we're back with our Week 5 APA Wi-Fi battle versus Manoche and his Montreal Milotics. Manoche, I've actually never really had many interactions with him, just throughout. He's like more of like a PokeTuber type of person who does like uploads and Wi-Fi battles, while kind of did the showdown scene and whatnot, so our paths never really intersected much, if at all. So this will be, of course, the first time I'm battling him, I believe. So very excited about that. Uh, well respected, I think, within the Wi-Fi battling scene. So I'm excited to face him. Now, as you can see, we have a different team this week compared to our last 4 weeks. Do check out my analysis that I have uploaded before this video. I'll have it linked in the description as well. Just going a rundown of the new mods I drafted for the second part of this 3-part APA season. And first part we went 2 and 2. Hopefully we can do better this time around. I would like to finish above 500 at the end of the season if possible, so we'll see how that goes. But without further ado, I'll give a rundown of what his team is. So he has a Zygarde, a Tapu Fini, a Scolipede, Gothitelle, Galarian Zapdos, Sarina, Silvally, Metagross, Rotom, and Morgrem. And what I have, and what I've kind of noticed on his team is, his Silvally is kind of forced into a couple types each week. That being normal or fire type, since he doesn't have a fire type. And if his Silvally isn't normal, ghost types kind of just run rampant through him. So he may just have to be forced to be normal, and if he's not fire, then that's great for grass types. So there's just a couple of noticeable weaknesses there that I can probably take advantage of, hopefully. So without further ado, I'll kind of just go on a rundown of what I'm bringing versus him. So first off, I have a bulky Zapdos with enough speed to outspeed a modest Tapu Fini or a non-timid Tapu Fini, pretty much. So it's just pretty much, and then the rest of it is just throwing HP and defense. Now he has a Galarian Zapdos, which is a very scary mon. But the biggest thing is, Galarian Zapdos' biggest check is actually regular Zapdos. So I can actually just kind of hardwall Galarian Zapdos with this mon. And I'm rocking Thunderbolt, U-Turn, Hurricane, Roost. The Hurricane, of course, to break any subs that the Zygarde might want to set up versus me if I am put in the position where I'm kind of staying in versus it. U-Turn is for pivoting over Volt Switch because of Zygarde, of course. So if he goes into Galarian Zapdos, he may be forced to pivot out. So I could just U-turn on the Zygarde. And then Roost, of course, get back to good health. Now, hopefully, this speed, I should underspeed his Zygarde. Hopefully, depending on how much speed he wants to put in his Zygarde. If he's like max bulk or whatever, then I won't underspeed it, which could be a little bit of an issue. But other than that, I think I should be underspeeding it outside of that potential issue. Next up, we have a Sneasel. Our good old Sneasel with heavy duty boots, rocking enough speed to outspeed everything on this team, minus a +1 Scolipede or +1 Zygarde and stuff like that. But enough speed to outspeed any neutral threat on this team, as Sneasel will be the fastest one on the field without Choice Scarf. It's rocking Ice Shard, Triple Axle, Knockoff, and Poison Jab. Ice Shard, of course, in case like the Zygarde gets a little bit out of hand early on, so I'll have to go in and just pick it off with Ice Shard. Otherwise, Triple Axle should just handle Zygarde. Most Zygardes anyways, especially if it's behind the sub, as first 2 Triple Axles should break the sub, then the third one should deal major damage. Or if I'm lucky, the first one will break the sub, and the next 2 will deal major damage depending on the spread. Rocking Knockoff, Gothitelle can be an issue, so if Gothitelle tries to trap Sneasel for some ungodly reason, I can deal a bunch of damage to it early on with Knockoff. Of course, Knockoff as well to hit Metagross, Rotom, anything like that really nicely. And then the Poison Jab is just for the Fini, as I have no way of hitting Fini otherwise. and there wasn't really need of like a SD set or anything like that for this, since Fini would check it otherwise. So just a way to keep the Fini a little bit honest. Next up, we have the Ferrothorn. Now, this is also a max HP, a bunch of defense, and then min speed with a little bit of attack investment, of course, for the Gyro Ball. Now, what this set is Leech Seed, Gyro Ball, Stealth Rocks, and Spikes. Literally is just to set up Spikes, set up Stealth Rock versus my opponent, kind of force him to defog, since his spinner is Serena, and I can hopefully kind of bait the Serena coming in and taking all that chip. And if it's Boots, that's great knowledge for me to know that it's Boots. And so it's kind of what it's here for, just being a nuisance. It is, unfortunately, if Gothitelle does come, certain Gothitelle, like a Charm set, like a Charm Rest set, I'm pretty sure can beat this 1v1, since its only move is Gyro Ball, and if I run out of Gyro Balls, then the Gothitelle can wear me out and just force me to struggle if it's a taunt. So hopefully, I need to play a little cautious around Gothitelle. Gyro Ball, of course, is for, like, if he wants to be a D-Dance Zygarde set, then Gyro Ball will start doing major damage. Scolipede, Gyro Ball does major damage off the bat. What I have the defensive, like the amount of defense I put in this was to live any Life Orb 2 hits from Scolipede. So Mega Horn will do a max of 48% to me, which then, even if I take rocks, the leftovers can counteract the rocks, and I should be able to live another Mega Horn. So that's what the defensive investment is there for. Rest of it in attack, just so Gyro Ball can do a little bit more damage. Successfully net that 2-hit KO versus Scolipede, as well as a 3-hit KO versus Gothitelle. Next up, we have Vaporeon. And I'm bringing like a little weird set. This is a very defensive Vaporeon, of course. Once again, for the threat that Zygarde and Scolipede impose on my team, as well as Metagross. And what this is it's running Flip Turn, Ice Beam, Wish, and Haze. So I was struggling between running Scald on this, but he does have a Tapu Fini, and I just didn't think Scald was worth it in the long run, just on the fact that Tapu Fini can kind of negate my Scald burns I would be fishing for, so I was like, I'll just run Flip Turn instead. Just give me a pivot option, especially if Gothitelle wants to try to trap it. I can pivot out of the Gothitelle with Flip Turn. Wish is, of course, just because it's a max HP Vaporeon, I want to keep a lot of my mons healthy. I can Wish and then pivot with Flip Turn out to them. Haze is in case Tapu Fini or Zygarde start getting out of hand, I can get rid of all their stat boosts and force them to start over. I put it over Roar because I didn't want to Roar like a potentially like powerful mon versus me, like versus a Vaporeon. I'd rather just get rid of the stat boost altogether with like Zygarde and Fini. Next up, we have the Delmise. Now, this is a choice-banded Delmise because, as I discussed earlier, he doesn't really have a good Ghost Switch in other than Savali Normal or Savali Dark if he brings that. So, kind of just, Poltergeist kind of just runs through him otherwise. So, it's kind of what it's here for, is just to click Poltergeist, Power Whip, and just blow through Matt's team. Depending on the Savali, if he does end up bringing Savali Normal, then Power Whip will probably have to do. And then if he's Savali Fire, then Poltergeist should do the damage. Since I'm not really trying to outspeed anything, I am putting a lot of like HP and defense bulk into this Delmise in order to at least tank some hits and deal damage back, as I am slower, so I won't be able to hit him first type of thing. I am also running Rapid Spin because I will like to get rid of hazards, especially if Serena is able to get rid of hazards versus me, since Serena can be an issue with Triple Axel being able to deal a good chunk of damage to Delmise, so I still have to be wary of that. And lastly, I have a Choice Scarf Tapu Lele with a enough speed to outspeed a non-Jolly Zygarde or a non-speed boosting nature Zygarde. And that's how I wanted to build it. I didn't want to like try speed tying if he does end up bringing like a max speed Zygarde with Jolly or whatever. I didn't feel like it was worth speed tying +1 Dragon Dance or whatever, so I wanted to put a little bit more into defense bulk, just so that I can tank hits a little bit better. Of course, max special attack, and then just clicking Moonblast, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, T-Bolt. Psyshock is over Psychic just because the Tapu Fini setting up Calm Minds can become an issue, so I would like to stop the Tapu Fini, at least like handle the Tapu Fini with a special Mon, instead of just having to try to break it with something else like my physical attackers like my Delmites, which could possibly get bopped by an Ice Beam. So that's kind of what like I brought Psyshock over Psychic for. But either ways, I think like the most threatening mons is like a Calm Mind Tapu Fini can become an issue. A Sarina is actually kind of scary. Silvally can also be very scary if I just depend on what type he wants to bring, because it could either like hard wall what I want to do with my Delmites, or just break for other mons later on. So, and of course, I think Scolipede is always a threat because Speed Boost is such a good ability for it, and if it's Life Orb, then it does a big chunk to most of my team. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. These are the 6 I'm going to bring, and I will get back to you once the battle begins. Okay, and we are connected with Matt here. See what he wants to bring. So he does bring Silvally. Kind of what I expected. He does bring Metagross. And Galarian Zapdos. Tapu Fini. Scolipede. And Sardina. So kind of what the team I was expecting here. Not really many surprises. I'm happy that Gothitelle didn't come. I don't have to worry about Gothitelle stalling out my Ferrothorn. But other than that, I think I'm all good to go. I'm going to lead Ferrothorn since Gothitelle didn't come. So I am more freely able to lead it. And I can also, if he leads Silvally, I can check what Silvally set he is. But I just want to lead Rocks/Spikes first thing. Alright, good luck, have fun to Battle Shay, and let's see how this battle goes. Alright, first let's see what he wants to lead here. He would like to lead Heimlich, which is the Scolipede. Perfect. I think we're just going to exchange hazards here, which is fine by me. This is literally only here to get hazards. Yeah, he said spikes. I will set rocks. Then I think I'm going to Gyro Ball here now. He gets, he's probably gonna get all 3 layers of his spikes up, but that's fine because I do have a, I do have ways to get rid of it. And I just wanted to get my rocks up here. Should I click it again? Or should I get another layer of spikes? I think for now, I will click it again. If he gets, okay, he just endeavors. That's fine. Honestly, I'm okay with that. Because I got my rocks up. And now I'm just going to force him to remove them. And with leftovers, I at least get a little bit of health back. Now, if he goes like Metagross or something, I'm just going to get my Leech Seed off. If he goes Zapdos, I'm going hard Zapdos. So the Ferrothorn did kill the Scolipede, which was nice. He goes into Savali Electric. Alright. This probably has Flamethrower. So I'll save this as a sack. Ooh, should I? Yeah, I'll go Zapdos here, I think. Yeah, I'll go Zapdos and then I'll click U-turn. So I want to preserve it. Just go Zapdos. Yeah, he does have Flamethrower. How much is this going to do? Okay, he gets the burn, which sucks. As that's residual, I don't like. But that's fine. I'm not as physical as Zapdos, and I can't be toxic, which is okay, I guess. But still, 10% chance of burn happens, I guess. He's going to switch out. I think I'm still going to U-turn, though. He switches out, right? Yeah, I'm still going to U-turn. This sucks because... Wait, this thing gets Ice Beam? I actually did not know this got Ice Beam. That's funny. Whoops. That's on me, I guess. Crit. Make up for the burn. Wow. That's on me for not knowing that got Ice Beam. I'm stupid. Tapu Lele, I believe should... Does Tapu Lele kill Savali Electric from here? At level 50, of course. It does not yet. So I'm going to go into... I don't like that, but... Yeah. This sucks. I do live anything. And I can KO back if I want to. But I think I would rather just spin. Yeah, I think getting rid of spikes is more important right now for me. And then I can probably sack Ferrothorn off to get into Lele, which can then kill. Yeah, Ice Beam shouldn't kill me. Alright, so now I can then go safely into Ferrothorn, sack it off, and then it sucks. That's on me for not knowing you got Ice Beam. That sucks. It was stupid on my part. But I'm gonna go Ferrothorn, because now my Zapdos just doesn't really beat Zapdos anymore, it just loses to it. That's stupid on me. Really dumb on my part. But I think this is fine. I'm just going Ferrothorn. Rocks are still up on his side, so... Kill me, please. Yep. I still lived anyways, that's funny. I mean, this doesn't matter. I'm dying next turn here. Let's get some spikes up in case he doesn't want to kill me. Yeah, he kills me. But now I just go into Tapu Lele and just click Moonblast, I guess. Or I could go into Sneasel. No, I think I had to go Lele. That's unfortunate because if I go Lele, then he does get a free switch into Metagross. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Now, does he save this? I guess why wouldn't? I think I'm just going to click Shadow Ball. Because I'm guessing he's going to go into Metagross. Which Shadow Ball should do a chunk to. Yeah, I'm clicking Shadow Ball. I think he's going to save it, because this thing does do a lot to my team. Yep. There's the Metagross. And now I just click it again. Choice Scarfini going in. Who does he go into now? He goes into Tapu Fini. Get the Spadef drop. That's perfect, actually. Because now I can just click it again. He also didn't bring Zygarde, which is... I guess that's kind of understandable. I did have a Sneasel just sitting there. He's in a very weird predicament because I got the Spadef drop. Because now I just guarantee 2 KO this from here. He tricks. I have a Scarf. So what are you giving me? Yeah, a Scarf. Cool. I'll just click it again. Great. Thank you for the scarf. It's really appreciated. Even though I thought my scarf was a little bit cooler than yours, because mine was blue and yours is a turquoise. So, you know, not as cool, but I'll deal with it. And now, what's he switching into? So he's just sacking off Metagross. Okay. So that's telling me 2 things. The Gyarados probably isn't Scarf. I mean, he's sacking off, I think, the wrong Mon. Because now I just fire off free Moonblast. Now, where does he go into now? Does he go Gyarados or does he go Sardina? Okay, he goes Sardina. Which is fine, I think. I sack off... I think I sack off Delmise here. Just so it doesn't get a free spin. Yeah. Now I'm going to click Poltergeist. Now he should kill me. Triple Axle should kill me. Yep. But I get to click Triple Axle on my own now. And you don't really have a switch in for this. Because your Feeny is pretty much dead. Maybe Gyapdos? I mean, Gyapdos wouldn't be a switch in. Either way, I'm doing the damage I need to his Mons. Especially Sarina. I think Sarina is probably my biggest threat right now. Well, other than Gyapdos. I will probably need some prior damage off of Gyapdos. Actually, I want to check how much Tapu Lele does to Galarian Zapdos. Who's he sacking? He's sacking this. To go into Gyapdos. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into Zapdos. Sack off the Zapdos. If I get a static, that'd be great. He U-turns. Punish? Nope. Oh my gosh, that stinks. He also got the crit, so now my Zapdos just dies here. Which I guess is fine. Yeah, it sucks. But then I just go right back into Sneasel and click Triple Axle again. Now, did he bring dual Scarf or just single Scarf? That's the question. Because if he brought dual Scarf, that's actually very scary. Because then his Galarian Zapdos beats my Tapu Lele. But I do have a full health Vaporeon in the back, if need be. Hit more than twice, please. Thank you. Alright, Sarina goes down. Now, Tapu Lele should, emphasis on should, sweep from here. I think I'm just going to... Whew. Do I just Ice Shard? Yeah, I think I'll just Ice Shard. I'll do... How much does Ice Shard from Sneasel do? Oh, it does a pretty good chunk. Because my Vaporeon should live. Any hit? Yeah. So I'm just going to... I'm going to Ice Shard with Sneasel. I think that's the play. Alright, Sneasel goes down. But now I go Tapu Lele. And I win because if he's forced to either... So I just go Tapu Lele and I just get Click Moonblast twice. So I should win here, barring some like weird crits or whatever. But we'll see. Okay, so I do just outpace with Scarf. So I could have just clicked Triple Axle. But Ishar was fine. It was just in case he was Scarf. And since I'm Scarf Lele, I outspeed Scarf Fini and should net the final kill here. Alright, quick, simple, easy. Maybe the burn on Zapdos was actually great because it prevented rocks from getting removed, which was really nice for me. Don't know, but either way, GG's to Matt. This will be a 2-0 victory, and I will finally, for the first time this season, be above 500, which is great. Starting out the second part of the season with a dub is amazing, so happy that happened. I did not handle the Savali correctly, I think. I did way too much pivoting around it just to get rid of stuff, so I'm not really too proud of that, but I think other than that, I think I played really well. Scarf Lele kind of just went in and claimed most of his team. I got really lucky with the Spadef drop on the Fini when he hard into Fini because of that Spadef drop. I wasn't afraid to switch anymore, so I just kind of just stayed in and clicked it again. And if I didn't get that Spadef drop, I probably was going to switch, and then I would have been tricked to Scarf onto one of my Mons, which I probably wouldn't have been happy about. So I am happy about how that turned out, honestly. And once again, GG's to my opponent, Matt. Be sure to check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. And thank you all so much for joining me this week, and I'll catch you all next week. Peace.